Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you all for the hearing today. We appreciate that. Mr. Reynolds, I want to come to you first and talk about the known crew member program. One of the things that has come to our attention is the abuses there. I know earlier this year, 4 flight attendants allegedly smuggled millions of dollars in drug money out of the U.S. using that known crew member lane at JFK Airport. We've also learned that 2 hackers discovered a vulnerability in the system that allowed them to create profiles for fake employees. And this was giving them access to areas beyond the security checkpoint. So what efforts are you taking to make certain that this is secured?
Senator, thank you for that question. The known crew member program is not something that I personally deal with, particularly. That's not my area of expertise. I will say though the program is among key stakeholders, including TSA, A4A, and ALPA. It's a program that to help facilitate screening of trusted population of airline crews, and it involves close collaboration to ensure that cybersecurity of those systems. Because I'm not the expert in that, ma'am, I'd love to take your question back and actually talk to our leads and provide you more comprehensive. I want to make sure my answer is correct.
I would appreciate that. I think that's something that is important to each of us, especially when you look at the issues that are in this country with the drug trafficking and the cartels. And that's a point of concern and indeed vulnerability. But then to find out that hackers have found a way to get in and create these fake profiles. I would like to have some more information on that and then be able to decide if there are other actions that we should take. You all talked a minute earlier about information sharing, and as we look at 2030, when there are going to be 32.1 billion devices connected to the internet here in the US, I think that this is going to need more attention when you look at that timeliness and the importance of streamlining reporting requirements and streamlining how you increase this information share. So you've made a couple of comments, but I want you to drill down a bit on what you would do with the streamlining process.
Senator, thank you. And to talk on the information sharing piece of it, our threat risk-based programs, our information sharing is absolutely critical to it. And when we talk information sharing, there's 2 elements I think they're important to make a distinction about. There's the information sharing that is necessary to protect your networks with what the adversary is trying to do immediately, like within the short order. Whether that's tactics, techniques, and procedures, it's incidents or compromise. It's that kind of level of detail that you know that your program is either safe or you have to make corrections. There's a second part of the information sharing that I want to highlight too, and that is that same kind of level of information. How is it being used and can it be used to inform requirements, policy requirements, and regulatory requirements to make sure they stay ahead of the evolving threat landscape? So those 2 pieces, we would love to see those actually improve and in fact bring in more industry input so that we can ensure that the information shared not just among and across. As an example, I just want to call out the CTAC team because they did an amazing job of pulling industry together so that we can understand what was happening, not just operationally, but from a cybersecurity perspective. They were able to share techniques, and procedures. They were able to tell us who they think the actor was, and that way we can go back to our own networks and make sure they were protected.
Well, and we also think workforce is an important component of this. And Senator Rosen and I have a bill that would work on training that workforce. I am just about out of time, so I'm not going to. I do have a question for Mr. Little. I'm going to submit this because when it comes to ransomware and the demands that are there, and of course, the targeting that you all went through. We think that the relationships with the public and private partners are very important. And I will submit that question to you for a written response. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Blackburn. Senator Klobuchar.